So today we're making meringue pie. So for this recipe, you're going to need some sugar, some vanilla, some cream of tartar, 2 tablespoons of butter, some salt, some cornstarch, 3 eggs, which we're going to split. Some whites are going to go in the meringue and the yolks are going to go in the filling. You're going to need about 2 lemons is enough to get. We need lemon peel and lemon juice. So 2 lemons will do you. 1 2/3 cup of cold water. And a pre-baked pie crust. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is, for this pie, you need to pre-bake your crust. So take your crust. Now, if you watched my other video, you know how I made this one. So this is a homemade one, which has to chill in the fridge for at least a half an hour before you use it. But you can use store-bought if you want to. But you want to roll out your pie crust. Excuse me. And this is my great grandma Joe's rolling pin. I could have other rolling pins, but I love this one. Alright, so you're going to roll out your pie crust, or put your pre-made one in the pie plate. But you want to preheat your oven to 450, so that takes a while. So go ahead and do that while you're doing this. And you're going to bake this for about 10 minutes. And you want to prick it with a fork a lot so that it won't bubble up so much when you bake it. But I found that no matter what, the pie crust is always going to get a little wonky when you do this kind of pre-baked one, and that's okay because you're going to cover it with all the lemon and the meringue, so it's all going to work out just fine. And I like to just, I just put a piece of wax paper down on the bottom and then put my pie crust, leave the wrap on there so nothing gets all sticky. And I don't usually have to flour it at all when I do it this way, so it's all good. Let's see, yeah, we got a little more going out this way. That's how I usually gauge how far to go. I just hold a pie plate on top of it. There we go. And that's okay. It doesn't have to be perfect because you can always shape it again with your fingers, but let's get the basic try to pull more over here and up there. Alright. Yep. We'll work on that. I'll peel that right off, see? Easy peasy. See, a little piece came off, and that's fine. I'm just going to pop that right in the pie plate. Like I say, when you cook this, it will shrink a little bit, and it might, bubble. And that's why you're going to prick it with a fork before you put it in the oven. But it's probably gonna not be perfect looking like a normal pie crust, you can make look nice, but when you pre-bake them, I mean, they just get a little wonky sometimes, and that's okay. So don't freak out if it shrinks a little stuff, it's okay. And this is why it's important to leave this in the fridge for a while, because if you don't let it sit for at least a half an hour to chill, it's a little harder to work with. And, I'm about a half an hour, so it's fine. Just gotta be careful pulling this off. It's all wrinkly. It's okay. Okay, grab that edge and pull it right off. There we go. Alright, you gotta be careful doing this part. That's alright though, because you're gonna fix it with your fingers. I try not to pull off little holes when I pull it off there. Alright. So then, you know, take off my rings. Just gonna, you know, see, we got a little hole there. That's okay. We'll fix it. And you see how you get a little bit here. It's fine. You can use these pieces for patches. Sure, to patch in the spots that'll look a little weak. That's okay. Now keep in mind, this will shrink up. So if it may be up at the top right here now, but it will go down a little bit usually. So again, don't freak out. It's okay. And I'm going to take a little from this side, which is a little heavier, and I'm going to add it over here because this side's a little more heavy and this is a little more light. So we get to, you know, work on that. Try to make it as uniform as I can. There's a little extra there. We'll pop it over there. It's all good. There's a little extra here. And this is really nice pie crust, so it's very, very flexible, very easy to work with. So you just make sure it's in there. Try to make sure you don't have any holes. Well, you're gonna poke holes in it in a minute anyway, but you know what I mean. No big giant gaping holes. So, all right, and you're not gonna see the outside of the crust like you normally would when you make a different kind of pie, because you'll have meringue on here, so you don't have to worry so much about being fancy about, you know, ooh, make the fancy pie crust. Not for lemon meringue, because it'll be covered with meringue, so you won't see it anyway. So don't stress about that. All right, so oh, see, look, I popped a hole there. Okay, be careful. Okay, now get a fork. Here, and we're just gonna poke little holes all around this pie crust. This just helps it to not like bubble up too much. So this will help it hold its shape a little better as it bakes, because it's just gonna bake by itself here for about 10 minutes in a hot 450 oven. So I go all around sides too. Generally, this is what you do for if you have to make a pie that has a pre-baked crust. Same procedure. Yep. This is a fun thing if you have kids to let them help with, you know. Like, okay, you want to poke holes in the pie crust? It's a very important job. Be careful and just poke some holes in there. Yeah. There we go. All right, and get those corners too. Or corners, well, you know what I mean. All around the corners of a round plate. You know what I mean. You know what I mean? Okay. There. So I'd say this is ready to go in the oven as soon as it's preheated. So again, I'm gonna see how many I poked a lot of holes in there. So poke your holes in there, and you're gonna bake this 10 minutes, about maybe 9, maybe 12. It depends on your oven, but you want to bake it until it's you know, a little golden brown, and it's done. About 10 minutes at 450 degrees. All right, as far as the lemons go, 2 lemons are usually enough. We're gonna need about 1.5 teaspoons of grated lemon peel and about 1/3 of a cup of lemon juice. So obviously I'm going to zest this first, and then I'll juice it. Just kind of, I already washed these up, so they're ready to roll. Now you don't want to go too deep into the pith of this, so you don't want to go into that white stuff too much, So just try to get just the yellow part, And again, after making this for many years, 2 lemons is usually enough. Oh, the pie crust is done. Hold on a minute. Alright, that took about 11 to 12 minutes. Just cook the pie crust till it's, light golden brown. You can see how the edges are starting to brown. And it didn't shrink up too much. See, all the fork marks really helped. So, just let that cool. And while that's cooling down a little bit, we'll make the filling. Alright, so while the pie crust is cooling down a little bit, prep everything out. So generally I take 2 lemons and that's enough. So if you take the lemon peel off of 2 lemons, that's enough. It's supposed to be like a teaspoon and a half, but I generally, it works out about right. Maybe if there's a little more, that's okay. But 2 lemons worth is usually just right. And I don't worry if I'm a little over, I just throw it in. So there we go. So I take off the lemon peel first, and then I squeeze the lemon. And you do want to use fresh lemon juice. I suppose you could use bottled, but I can't vouch for that. I don't think that would be good. You want to, if you're making lemon pie, you got to go all in and use real lemons. And right now, boy, does this smell good. Lemony. Alright, so see, you got your little pile of lemon rind. So here's my half teaspoon. So like 1, yeah, see, that's close enough. Might be a little less, might be a little more, it's okay. This thing's a little difficult to use, but that's all I got. So we'll just, you don't want to get too much of that white stuff in there. Alright, so after you get your lemon peel, about that much, teaspoon and a half, we're going to just cut our lemons and squeeze out the fresh juice. We need 1/3 cup. So again, 2 lemons is usually enough for this. And obviously you don't want the pits or any of the other stuff. You just want the juice. Like that. That smells so good. The lemon smell is so lovely. I'm guessing that's good. It usually is, but I'm going to have to strain that. So let me grab a little strainer and let's see if we can get 1/3 cup. Where's the third here? There it is. Yep, look at that. Yep, with just a little extra. See, there's quite a lot of stuff there, and I can save this and make some lemonade later. I actually have a lime, so I might make some lemon limeade later. So that's fine. So you see, two lemons is plenty for what we need for this recipe. So there's my 1/3 cup. Make sure it's right. It's a little over 1/3, so I'm gonna pour a little more out. I don't want to make it too, the liquid part you really got to get right. You can go a little more on the peel there. Okay, that's about right. Okay, so there's that. All right, so then we prep the eggs. All right, so for the eggs, we're going to use the whites for the meringue and the yolks for the filling. So we gotta separate them out. So this will be the, I mean, there's many ways to do this, but this is how I do it. You really want to try to get as much of that white separate as you can. So there's one yolk. Oop, don't go in there. Go. That was kind of a bad break there. That's all right. There's that. Got a little piece of yolk in there. Okay, and one more. So three eggs separated. And the 1 2/3 cup of water that's supposed to be cold, I have that sitting in the fridge right now, so it stays cold. There we go. Okay, so there's our 3 egg yolks and our 3 egg whites. All right, so now we have in the pan, we have our cup of sugar, our 1/4 cup of cornstarch, and the salt, the 1/2 teaspoon of salt. So I just mix that up, mix it well, and then have my cold water, a cup and 2/3 of water. So first we want to mix this up pretty well. Make sure it's mixed well. And then we're going to slowly add the cold water to this, and we're going to cook it. And we're going to gradually stir in the cold water and keep stirring. And this is the part where it's really hot because you got to stand here and just keep stirring constantly until we get the mixture to boil. And then once it does, we're going to boil it for about a minute, and then we're going to take it off the heat, okay? So here we go. We got this mixed up pretty well. Sugar, cornstarch, and salt. Mix it up real good. All right. Now we're going to start. I'm going to turn on the heat up, medium heat. And we're just going to pour in a little cold water. I'm going to start this process here. And yeah, we're on medium heat. That's right. All right. You don't want to go crazy here. Take your time. Just keep stirring. If the phone rings, just let it ring. Alright, so then we're going to add a little more. Gradual is best. Don't go crazy. Just it's a lot of stirring and stirring. When you get that incorporated, then you just add a little more. And just keep stirring. You definitely do not want to burn this. Keep scraping the bottom. Make sure, everything's, nothing's sticking. Scrape that sugar off the bottom and just keep going. A little more cold water. Just keep stirring. You don't want to do this wrong because then your pie won't hold together too well. So take the time to do this right. And don't turn it up too high. Just keep it on medium and just stand here. Now if I wasn't making a video, I would have on some 70s music or something. Singing or something while I'm doing this part, because it's just a lot of standing and stirring for a while, but that's okay. A little more. Yep. keep it on medium. I only have a little bit left. And it's pretty, you know, it's pretty smooth in here now, which is good. So we can go ahead and just gradually pour in that last bit there. All right, so now at this point we are just gonna stir. We want to bring this to a boil. We don't want to burn it, so you want to bring it to a boil and boil it for 1 minute without burning it. That's where the stirring comes in. You just have to stand here and stir it. It just takes a long time to get to this point. See if you stop for a minute. Nope. You don't want to stir too vigorously, but keep stirring. You want to see when it's going to start boiling. It will. Phew. See a few bubbles starting over there, so we're getting closer. Doo-doo-doo-doo. But yeah, so don't feel bad if you feel like, oh, this is taking so long. It's gonna take a while to do this, and that's okay. Just don't be tempted to put it on high or, you know, or walk away. Just know that you're gonna have to stand here at the stove for, you know, probably 10 minutes just stirring this. And it's starting to bubble here a little bit. I can see it, so we're getting there. And you can start to see, like, what would you call it? Or you can see it's starting to thicken up. You can see little pieces of, like, the thicker filling starting to form. You can see it, see right there? So yeah, this is real important now. Definitely don't walk away now, because this is, if it's gonna burn, it's gonna burn right now. I might even turn it down a little bit. Alright, you can see how it's thickening. I don't know if that's showing up. See that? It's starting to get thick and have these weird pieces. You might want to turn it down a little at this point. Not too much. You want it to, you still want it to boil, but don't want to burn it. And you see, I'm not sure how that's showing up on the video, but you can see it's starting to get like different consistency there. That's what you want. Yeah. See that? It's starting to get different color a little bit. It's getting thick. Alright, I'm gonna turn it down a little bit, just because it seems like it's really hot. So, alright, now you can see how different it looks. Now we want it to boil for a minute. We have to get it to a boil here. It's just about there. keep stirring and scraping the bottom. There we go. Okay, we've got, see, it's boiling now, right? So we got some bubbles going. So we want to do this for about a minute. See that? You can go a little more than a minute if you want to. I've done that before, but that's not the worst deal. But you want to go at least a minute while it's boiling like that. Just keep scraping. You see how that kind of got almost like clear, more clear, and it's thick, like, you know, the filling should be. So we got about 30 seconds more. And you can feel it wants to stick on the bottom at this point, so you really gotta stir, stir, stir. And be careful, because if it's too hot and it starts splattering, you do not want this hot filling to hit you. That's why I turned it down just a scotch. See, okay, so that's been a minute, and you can go a little more than that if you want. Which I'm doing a little bit here. You just really want it to thicken up good. All right. So now we're going to turn off the heat. All right. And we're going to take this off the heat entirely and let it just cool down for a little bit here, because scrape it real good. And we're going to take it off the heat. So now we're going to take our 3 egg yolks and we're going to beat them, and then we're going to mix in about 1/4 cup of that hot filling that we just made over there on the stove. So just beat your egg yolks. That's good enough. Alright, so we have our 3 beaten egg yolks. So we're going to take some of this hot mixture here and we're going to put it in there. You know, about 1/4 cup. I do a little bit at a time. Mix it up. A little more. Take it easy, you know, because it's still hot, you know. Like that. Okay, that's good. Maybe a little more. It's just going to take some of that into that. There. Now you're going to put this slowly into this. Slowly. And stir constantly when you do it. Alright, like that. Okay. Okay. So there's our egg yolk. So now, again, we're going to turn on the stove and we're going to bring this to a boil, which shouldn't be that hard this time because it's already still hot. Alright, so we're going to bring this to a boil and boil it again for a minute. And it should come up to a boil much faster this time. Let's keep scraping. Now, I didn't let this cool off too much. The key is to be very gradual with that process that I just did there. You don't want to go too fast with the egg. Alright, so it's already starting to boil. It wants to. So just just keep stirring. Keep it on medium or low heat for this part. You know, you really don't want it to be too hot for this part. Just low is fine. So again, stirring over a hot stove. But this is the last of it though, so it won't be so bad after this. We gotta get this part done. So see, it's starting to bubble. All right, so once it starts doing that, 1 minute. You want it to boil for 1 minute while you stir it constantly. So. See, it's just gently bubbling. You don't want to burn this, so you gotta take care. Keep it on low. Just as long as it's bubbling, it's okay. Just don't burn it. And I like these spatulas. All right, that's the minute timer. So again, it's not a big deal if you go past it a little bit, as long as you at least boil it for a minute. So there we go. So now we're going to take that off the heat, turn it off, give it a good stir, and we're going to take it off the heat completely. Okay, so here we have our stuff off the stove. And right now we're going to add the 2 tablespoons of butter. And don't worry, it'll melt real well in there because it's still hot. So I generally roll that around, melt that. And we're going to add in our 1.5 teaspoons of lemon rind there, lemon zest, lemon peel. And I mix that up real good while it's hot, because then we're going to put in our lemon juice, our 1/3 cup. So first, just mix that up. Melt that butter in there. Get those lemon peels to kind of blend in real well before we add the lemon juice. All right, so the butter is just about melted, and I don't see any bits of those lemon peels anymore. So there you go. And you can see it's still quite hot, steam coming off of there, and that's all right. That works well to melt the butter and the lemon peel into it. And then when that's done, we're going to take our 1/3 cup of the fresh squeezed lemon juice and pour it right in. There we go. Mix it up real well, and then we're going to just set this aside because it's got to cool down a little bit. And we'll make the meringue. Oh, and this is a good time too to preheat your oven or downgrade it from the baking the pie. 350. We're going to bake this at 350. And your oven should already probably be pretty hot because, you know, we baked our pie crust at 450. So it's probably going to heat up pretty quick. But definitely you want to preheat your oven. Just really mix this up really well. I'm still needing to mix it. And scrape it as much as you can. It smells so good. All right. All right, so when that's mixed well, just set it aside. Now we make the meringue. Okay, so now we have our 3 egg whites, the cream of tartar, and some vanilla. And you want to have a bowl that's big enough to whip it up in. And so we're gonna whip this, or we're gonna beat this until soft peaks form, soft ones. And then we're gonna gradually add 1/4 cup of sugar, a little at a time. But right now, we just gotta wait till we make some soft peaks. Do you see that? Okay. I'm just go like medium speed at this point. But when we start adding the sugar, we're gonna go high speed. You see it's doing its thing. You see it's getting kind of foamy, and that's okay. Medium speed at this point. You don't want to mess this part up. Meringue's very important. You see it's getting foamy. I'll show you what I mean by the soft peaks. That's about medium. Yeah, you don't want to go high at this point, so sometimes I'm not sure, like, is that one or the one next proper medium? I don't know. That seems about right. Yeah, that's about right. Sorry for the sound, it's probably annoying. Alright, so let's see. You can test it like that. See, if it goes like this, and you're not getting a peak form, it's not ready yet. So keep going. Medium speed. You want to be able to have a little peak happen when you do that. And we're getting close, but that was not it. Nope. Not yet. Not yet. You can kind of see that it's starting to get that way. We're getting there. You can see that. You can see how it's sort of getting a little thicker there. A little bit more. A little bit more, a little bit more. Alright, now you can see that it's definitely getting some texture, more texture to it. Okay, that's right. Just like that. See? Soft peaks. See? Okay, so now we're going to put it on high speed and we're going to gradually add 1/4 cup of the sugar. Little at a time at high speed. Little at a time. More, just sprinkle it in. Little at a time, don't rush. You really want that sugar really dissolve. Take your time and make sure that sugar is dissolved before you add more. Just really keep it on high. We're almost got it all in there. Alright, there, it's all in. And just make sure you get it all dissolved. She's rolling around over there. Are you frolicking, lady? She's so cute. Alright. So you want to keep doing this until all the sugar is well dissolved. You want to have stiff peaks. When you go like that, see that? Boom. Stands up. Stands up and holds. I don't know if it's going to show through there. Sorry, I got a crack in my thing. See, it'll be stiff, so I'll do a little more. Hang on, guys, I'll be right with you. I know, Scarlett wants to go out and lay in the sun. Don't you, baby girl? Yeah, can you wait a minute? I'm at a very crucial point in the recipe. There, see, that's just great. Try to get as much you can off your little beaters. Now that is good meringue. Okay, so now take our pie crust. We're gonna pour in our filling that we have been sitting here. And you could probably put this in here before you made your meringue. It's okay. But put that right in there. Our oven is ready to go at 350. We'll spread that around. We're going to fill the rest with meringue. Now, these look great. Now we're going to just scoop that meringue on the pie, and you can see the consistency is very nice. Put it right on there. Don't worry, I'm not going to leave it like that. All right. Now we're just going to swirl it around, and we're going to try to make our nice little decorations on there. I probably could have used a smaller pie plate for this pie. That's okay. This is just your typical pie. Sometimes I make a lemony pie, I just put in a smaller dish, but that's okay. And again, you want to pull that meringue right up, pull it right up onto the crust, because it'll shrink a little as you cook it, right? So don't be afraid to pull it up on the crust. Do all that, and then we will make the little dollops on the top, like that. Oops, I got a little on my finger. All right. All right. I hear the birds, man. They just keep, I can hear them. All right, so mostly try to cover your crust. It's alright if you don't, but it does tend to shrink a little bit, so it's good to go right up on your crust. That way, if it shrinks in a little bit, it still look good. Alright. So, now fun part. Like that. And then we're just going to make little dollops. Well, first of all, let me get that on there. Like this. You can use a knife or a spatula. I just take a corner of something and try to make a little dollops. Boop. This isn't the best. I usually use a knife. Oh, that's okay. I'm sure this is not the best lemony pie I ever made, but that's okay. Just put some pretty dollops on there. All right, and then you're ready to put it in the oven. Like that. We made a little bit of a mess over here. Yikes. There we go. Yikes. That's okay. All right. It's the nature of meringue, you know. All right, so we're gonna cook this at 350 for about 15 minutes. So there's our pie. Just came out. This took a little over 15 minutes. You know, just till you want to get this kind of light golden brown crust on the meringue. So everybody's oven's a little different, but so around 15 minutes or so at 350. So you want to let this set on the counter for, you know, I don't know, hour or two maybe. Just let it cool down, and then put it in the refrigerator for at least 3 or 4 hours before you try to cut into it. And obviously keep it in the fridge.